Welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. This is Under the Radar's Ring of Honor's weekly review, recap, whatever you want to call it, with your boy ALW. I am here. It is Friday, April 12th. We are on the heels of Supercard of Honor from last Friday, which was an excellent show. We'll just jump right into it. So this week started with a video package of hold on for just one sec. I'm moving slow already. Uh, really, it started with the super pack. It started with a video recap of Supercard of Honor, and then it jumped into a little live kind of. It wasn't live, definitely not live. It was a recap, I guess, from after Supercard of Honor with Mark and Eddie. Both Mark was bloody, Eddie's bandaged up. They're drinking beers, they're celebrating. Eddie's happy for Mark, even though he lost the title. Which, as if you didn't know, Mark Briscoe beat Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World Championship at Supercard of Honor um, in an excellent match in the main event. It was one of those things where you knew, because of the history between Eddie and Mark, that even though Eddie is the champion and you never want to lose a title, give up a title, if you're going to do it, you're happy to do it for Mark Briscoe if you're Eddie Kingston, or you're even happy to suggest putting over Mark Briscoe. You've had 3 championships this year. A rising tide floats all boats, right? So Eddie's the kind of guy that's more than willing to let somebody go over, even win a title, in a situation like that, where it's such a feel-good situation as it was for Mark. Winning on the anniversary of his brother Jay's first Ring of Honor World Championship, and obviously with his brother Jay passing recently, well, not recently, I guess wow, it's been maybe a year now. I don't know, it's been a while, so that this is, nice for Mark. This is a good thing. So, needless to say, we started with that. We had Mark and them, and then we had our first match was Isaiah Cassidy versus Action Andretti. Isaiah Cassidy's, Andretti Private Party are heels. Isaiah Cassidy plays the heel here in this match. These two have a good match. Both guys can really wrestle. Um, uh, this is furthering the Private Party versus Top Flight kind of war that they've been having going on. Cassidy Cassidy is in control. I thought Cassidy seemed to be in control for a fair amount of this match, but in the end, Action Andretti got the win. Um, and solid match. Again, like I said, the two can really wrestle. They had a lot of good spots. They traded some near falls. There was Andrade hit a poison Rana that was really nice at one point. And the two of them, seemed to have pretty good chemistry, as does, Private Party and Top Flight in general. So let's see. Then we had the Undisputed Kingdom video package where they're talking about Wardlow. Mike Bennett's still hurt, Matt Taven's still kind of hurt, but Wardlow's there. They say as long as they have Wardlow, no one can take those titles from them. Then the Infantry cut a promo and said if it wasn't for Wardlow, you wouldn't have won those titles, and we want another shot. So the dueling promos here. I'm assuming the Infantry will get another shot. I hope the Infantry beats them. I mean, I like one half of the Kingdom in Mike Bennett. I love Mike Bennett. I hate Wardlow. I hate Matt Taven. So um, I'm not a big fan of the 3 of those guys together. But I don't want to see Mike Bennett, ever be on the losing end of anything at the same time. The Infantry, I really like the Infantry. And they're on the come up. They're hot and on the move. They've put a lot of, they've given them a push here in Ring of Honor, and I really like it a lot. So I hope the Infantry gets the win when they run this back. Let's see. Then we had Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty versus Kaz Jordan and Julian Ward, the Australian Takeover. The announcers during the show, Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman, were talking about how the goal of these guys is to be the next Aussie Open. Um, so I don't know. Here was definitely a Shane Taylor Promotions showcase. I didn't think that Kaz Jordan or Julian Ward came off all that great. Um, and Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty are definitely the company getting the push here. Um, they've now Shane Taylor Promotions has now added Anthony Agogo, who is back, which is kind of an interesting addition. He never really moved the needle for me before, so we'll see if he's back now. What he, if he's any better than he was, but we'll see. Needless to say, Shane Taylor Promotion got the win here. Then we had, what I thought was probably the funnest part of the show as far as segments go. We had Billy Starks meeting with her. She was backstage with her parents with her belt, and she was talking to her mom, and her mom was like, "We didn't raise you like this. We don't think you should be hanging out with Athena. You cheated. Athena's a bad influence for you. Blah blah blah." And Billy's basically just saying, "You can't be proud for me. You can't just be proud of me." And her mom saying, "Not this way." And so she basically leaves, and Athena's down the hall. You can see Athena kind of in the peripheral of the camera shot, and she runs over there. And of course, Athena embraces her and is happy about how she won. And Athena's going to be her new mom now. So I thought this was a funny segment. They're continuing this story with Athena and the minions, and I'm here for it. Athena, retained her championship at Supercard of Honor. So, with the title, this story just kind of naturally continues, and it's one of the fun things that Ring of Honor does is Ring of Honor doesn't always have a lot of storylines, but this is one that they've been using for a while now, and I like it. We then had Nyla Rose defeat Kat Von Hees. And it was definitely a Nyla Rose showcase. I say showcase because I don't want to use the word squash. We're going to use showcase a lot. Squash would imply that the other person had really kind of no offense and no showing, which isn't true. Von Hees here had a little bit of offense, but it was definitely Nyla Rose in control. Nyla Rose was dominant, and Nyla Rose got the win in pretty easy fashion. Let's see. Then we had Lee Johnson backstage with Lexi Nair talking about his match with Kyle Fletcher at Supercard of Honor, and how he wants another opportunity at Kyle Fletcher's Ring of Honor TV Championship. So we'll see. Then we got basically a dueling promo here again, like we had earlier, with whatchamacallit. I apologize. With the Undisputed Kingdom and Infantry. I kind of like this dueling promo segment where you have one from one person and then the other from the other person that ties the storyline together. So Kyle Fletcher, we get it after Lee Moriarty, they cut to Kyle Fletcher, and he said that he proved to Johnson why he's the proto star, and that Johnson should never forget it. He didn't really say Johnson can't have another match. We'll see. I'm assuming these two will have another match at some point. I don't know if it'll be Kyle's next match, but we'll see. Then we had what I thought was a very interesting match. We had Cole Carter versus Christopher Daniels, kind of the rookie versus the veteran. Christopher Daniels is 55 years old and on a winning streak in Ring of Honor for I'm not sure what reason. He's won, I think, I don't know. I want to say he's won like 7 matches in a row, and I'm not totally sure why he's beating an up and coming Cole Carter. Like they have this whole Cole Carter, Griff Garrison story with Maria Kanellis where they've stolen the mask of Serpentico. And that's kind of like an underlying story that it feels like they want to push. Maria's great, and so it feels like they're pushing Cole and Griff, but then Cole Carter comes out and takes a loss to Christopher Daniels, and I'm not sure why. I mean, I don't know why Christopher Daniels needs to have an undefeated streak here. I'm not sure why he needs to be picking up W's over guys that it looks like you're pushing and that are kind of more of the future. So we'll have to see ultimately if there's something going on with Christopher Daniels, if they're planning on putting some sort of title on him or doing something with him. But it just seems odd to me. So let's see. Then we had Dalton Castle and Paul Walter Hauser backstage talking about how Paul Walter Hauser helped him at uh, Supercard of Honor win the grudge match against Johnny TV, and which was a solid match. This was a fun little backstage interview. Then we had the Righteous beating up, versus Chico Adams and Bryce Donovan. This was definitely a squash match. This was a squash match. This was and a showcase for the Righteous, but this really was a squash match. The other team really didn't get any offense, and they were definitely there just to make the Righteous look good. Let's see. Then we had a small little video package of Athena getting the win over Hikaru Shida and retaining her championship. Then we had Anna Jay defeating Little Mean Kathleen in, you know, essentially again here another showcase match for Anna Jay. Um, she did get a little bit of offense, LMK, Little Mean Kathleen. So it was a pretty even affair, but Anna Jay definitely was the one that was made here to come out with the win and to look good. Then we had a video package. We had Mariah May talking with um, talking with Lexi Nair, and then Marina Shirakawa came in, and the two of them basically had a little promo together where they drink champagne, and Shirakawa kisses Mariah again, much to Mariah's kind of shock again, but seems to be okay with it. So it's a little interesting story. Um, the whole underlying Mariah May, Marina Shirakawa story. So we'll see where that ultimately goes. Then we had Zach Knight, Sriracha's brother, wrestling. For the first time I've seen him wrestle, but apparently this is his third win. So Zach Knight versus Alvin Alvarez. This is what you would think it would be. Zach Knight's one getting the push. This is basically a squash. Zach Knight showcase. And, he looks okay. Um, Nothing about him is overly impressive, but there's nothing about him that's terrible. He's an okay talker. He's an okay wrestler. He'd be great, in the mid card somewhere. I don't see him as a main eventer. When I look at him, I don't think he has it per se. But I don't. I'd have to look him up. But he looks like he still could be fairly young, probably in his early 30s, I would think, late 20s, early 30s, probably more likely early 30s. But so he's still got time to grow, I suppose. As of right now, though, he's not really moving the needle. For me, and being Sriracha's brother, I already don't really care for him. So let's see. Then we had a recap of Mark Briscoe winning the championship, which was a nice little title package or a nice little video package. Um, AEW / Ring of Honor does this stuff well. So, and then we had our main event of the night, which was a Proving Grounds match between Rhett Titus and Kyle Fletcher that has a 10-minute time limit. If Rhett Titus can either win or survive the 10 minutes, he'll get a shot at Kyle Fletcher's Ring of Honor TV Championship. It didn't go that long. Kyle Fletcher got the win in under the 10 minutes in a solid win. It's unfortunate. Titus, both these guys are really good technical wrestlers. Rhett Titus is just coming back, which is why I think he took the loss here fairly quick. In the long run, Rhett Titus and Kyle Fletcher should be having longer, better matches than this. The two of these guys could go out and easily have a four-star match, and if the storyline was right or the circumstances were right, potentially a 5-star match. I mean, these guys both have that kind of talent. Rhett Titus is a former TV television champion, Ring of Honor TV television champion, which is a title that Kyle Fletcher is now holding. So, he's been there and done that. So, but here, this was definitely Rhett's first match back. And it looked like that Kyle Fletcher got the win fairly easily. So, solid show. Yeah, go back and check it out if you want. The Kyle Fletcher Rhett Titus match probably isn't really worth watching. If there was any match on the show worth watching, it's probably Action Andretti and Isaiah Cassidy. The rest of it, it's not really a very wrestling heavy show. It was very kind of storyline and promo heavy, which for Ring of Honor is a little different. But So that's Ring of Honor TV in about 15 minutes. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you tune in for all of our shorts and our weekly shows. The Cookout on Tuesday nights, Seeing Stars on Monday morning, Friday Night Fights, where we watch SmackDown and Rampage. We do a live watch along for those, and on Saturdays when we do our live watch along for Collision and any other pay per views that are going on. So make sure and check that out. You can always scan this QR code and find us everywhere. We are everywhere where that code is. So we appreciate it. And until next time, it is your boy ALW, and this is Under the Radar. Peace.